Hey, I'm Bex Allen, and this is a vlog series that I started filming in June 2019. It follows my journey that I went through coming off psychiatric medication for bipolar disorder. There's the ups, the downs, how I did it, and now I'm celebrating being drug-free me. And this is a bid for me to show the world that there is another way. This is my first post for basically something that I'm going to document over what I imagine will be the next 6 to 12 months. I have bipolar disorder and was diagnosed almost 12 years ago now, and I have had quite a journey through different mental health facilities, and I've gained lots and lots of insight and skills on how to best live my life. I was an addict and managed to kick those addictive ways with having new coping skills. And I've reached a time in my life where I am really keen to find out whether I can go drug-free. Now, this may seem a little bit carefree to some people, or careless. I am planning on having support by medical support the whole way through. So I have my first appointment with my doctor booked in next week, and I'm going to be asking him for his support. I'm not entirely sure how he is going to react to this. I know he has been really supportive of me wanting to lower my doses in the past, but I suspect perhaps he might want to refer me on to a psychiatrist to support me through this phase. I'm not sure if I'll go ahead with that, but this is just step one. And I want to document this process because for years I have been looking for information on people who have come off lithium. So lithium is one of my main drugs. And if you are on lithium, you yourself will know the damage that can happen to your liver and kidneys. I feel like a completely different person to the woman that I was when I was diagnosed. I had no coping skills. I was a mess. I was a complete mess. Whereas now I feel as though I've got many different ways that I can help myself throughout this journey. By no means am I going into this blind. I understand that there is going to be discomfort. I am expecting discomfort, but I'm going to be using my mindset. I believe that I can do this. I have already started with a really clean diet. I exercise daily, and I also use tapping, EFT, which helps me release any emotions that come as they arrive. I now notice my emotions when they arrive in the moment, which I think is a massive step for me and massive step for a lot of people who experience mental illness, because we put on all these blocks trying to stop feeling. We don't want to feel it. I was one of those people. I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to feel it before I was diagnosed, and I used alcohol and drugs and sex to cover up any discomfort that I felt. So now I feel as though I can feel it and work through it. So here we go. I am documenting this is the beginning of the process. So I hope that you follow along. And if I inspire, please share. I'm Rebecca Allen, and I am going drug-free this year. Hello there. I have been to see my GP, who had very much the reaction that I thought he would have. He understood that I want to try and come off the medication, but he did say to me, I am only a GP and I'm not trained to help take you off these psychiatric medications, so I am going to seek advice from a psychiatrist. He wanted to refer me to a psychiatrist, as I thought he would. But I said to him that I actually didn't want to do that. I said, I feel as though I have the right to say that I don't want to go and see him. And he said, yeah, that's fine, but I'm going to seek advice on how I can help you come off your medication. So I agreed, but left feeling quite downhearted, I suppose. I think I thought it might have gone a little bit differently. And I felt as though I was going to be quite trapped in the medical realm, and expecting the psychiatrist to heavily warn that I don't do it and recommend I don't do it. But I sort of said to my GP, I'm quite sternly, I don't want to hear that sort of feedback. Basically what I want is I want your support to help me come off the medication. So he got back to me and he said, we have a plan. The plan's not quite as you wish, because I wanted to come off lithium first, because the lithium is the one that I feel as though is damaging my body, my kidneys. So, but he said we will start with one of the other drugs. So we've started with one of the other drugs. And in the meantime, I have actually come up with a new plan, and it's quite a different plan. There is a company called Hardy's, and they have a micronutrient program that they put people on. It's called Daily Essentials, and it has all the really, really, really high amounts of micronutrients. That the idea is that it replaces all the things that that any person is deficient in it. So started going through that. But basically there are studies that they've done where they have put people on this who have come off their medications, and one of them was for bipolar, which was really interesting to me. So they had 15 people do this, and 11 of them at the end of the program were completely off their medication and on this daily essential. So 11 out of 15, and the other 4 were on really reduced amounts of medications. So there were other studies, and I spoke to 2 of the biochemists within this company just to really get my head around it. So part of the support team is that you tell them what medication you're on, and they work out your tapering system coming off, how much you're going to go down by. And the way it works is that you start taking the daily essential, and after so many days or a week or however long, everybody's different, you start feeling over-medicated, and anybody who's on psychiatric medications know what that feels like. You start feeling, over-medicated. You let them know, and that's when you make your first reduction. And then your body gets used to that, and then slowly after a period of time you start feeling over-medicated again, and that's when you reduce your medications again, and onwards. So they do this in between a 2 and 4 month program, which to me seemed like, oh, that's a bit fast. I've done all my research and I should be doing it much slower. And it was the lithium that I was most concerned about, because they say the quicker you come off lithium, the more likely you are to bounce back into some sort of bipolar episode. And so the guy that I spoke to, this biochemist, he said to me, so how it actually works is, he says, lithium's different to all other psychiatric medicines because it's a mineral. It's salt, basically. And he said that the minerals in this daily essential are so high that it actually replaces the lithium and works really well for bipolar. And I was like, sold! Okay, I'm trying this, because that was my concern. So I'm doing it. I'm waiting for the package to arrive. I have a few people in my life, close people, who will keep an eye on me and make sure that they know how I am. And I'm still aware that that it's not going to be all roses. But, I'm ready to give this a go. I've got all these other things in place, and I'm ready to just do it. And I don't particularly like the way that the GP wants me to do it, these tiny little increments before we even get to the lithium. So, yeah, they do all your drugs at once. So they just, take you off a little bit of each drug, every time they reduce you. So I'm so excited, and I'm going to keep you up to date. You may see some really happy days, and you may see some not so happy days, but I'm going to let you know how it goes for your own purposes. You never know. This could be your journey one day.